Alright, hey everybody, this is KBNO HD2 Omaha, Mav Radio, and it's 8 o'clock. Thanks for tuning in to the Tier 3 podcast. I'm Eric Anderson,
Brian Kelly, Jake Partouche,
and Jim Aduri.
And this is the show where we didn't make the cut. Want to explain that? Have you looked at that story?
Yeah.
Anyone? Okay, I guess we could do that first.
Okay, so the interesting point we just noticed is there are now rankings for podcasts apparently, or they're just being recognized.
The top 5 podcasts by what, Engadget or
Gizmodo
UK?
Gizmodo. And we are not even close.
Well, we're not on there, but we didn't expect to be. So, okay, top 5 podcasts real quick.
Okay, the first is wired.co.uk, then is Nature Podcast, then is a T3.
Which I did not know about when I named our podcast.
Exactly. Then it is the BBC Radio 5 Live, and then the 404.
404 from CNET. Excellent podcast.
404.
Yes, if you listen to any other podcast besides ours, it's the 404 on CNET.
It should be.
They have a great podcast. So announcements before we get into news. There's more people, one person joining us rather than usual. Actually, Brian's back after he played hooky for a week, I guess.
Busy, yeah.
Jake Partouche is with us tonight.
Yep, I'm here.
Do you have anything to say for yourself?
Not really. Just happy to be here, I guess.
So, we'll see. I don't know if he'll show up next week or not. We'll see. We've got a lot of people coming and kind of have an interest in it. No one listens to it, but a lot of people want to do it. But we've got, I did some updating of the graphics. Our YouTube site is overhauled with some cool new graphics.
Check it out. It's pretty awesome now.
It's very cool. Our Twitter is updated, but I'm not even going to use that. And I put up our design posters that we'll get up around campus.
Hopefully we'll have them up by next week.
They look really cool.
That's true.
That's about it. So, yeah, we might have intro music soon. I'd really like to have some sort of theme for our podcast, but we'll see if we can't get that together.
We'll probably fix something, Eric. Don't worry.
Alright, well, let's get into some news. Of course, we don't have any bumpers because we're so professional, so we're just going to get into it. The new HP is sending out those touchpads again that everybody was jumping on for, what were they? $100.
$100. $99.
Yeah, $99. I don't remember when that was. A couple months ago, 1 month ago.
I think that was
the beginning of this semester.
Yeah, that's August. I think August, September time.
But HP is bringing those back. HP they don't know what they're doing now. They have everybody confused. They were just going to get rid of their WebOS system and they were going to get out of the PCs completely. Well, now they're going to stay in the PC business, evidently. And they're going to still launch these touchpads again, but now they're $150. And there's a bigger catch. You have to buy an entire HP computer to get the discount price on the touchpad.
What was the problem with the touchpads last time?
Why
did they not continue with it, I guess?
They just weren't selling any, so they just decided to fire sale and get out of there.
Compared to the iPad and what's Android or Motorola Zoom, this one just doesn't compare to those. This is good for like reading books or something. It's kind of, you could compare it to a Kindle Fire, I guess.
Like WebOS isn't really supported by apps as much as Android and I guess Apple also. So.
Though now we know that HP is like a confused teenager and a very smart one somehow. Selling their touchpads with computers, kind of smart.
Well, I don't know if this is gonna, like, you only get it if you buy a computer. It's like last time they sold them, like they were gone within hours after they announced the $99 price tag. But now with 150 gigs and you have to buy a computer first, I don't think they're going to go as quick.
Definitely not.
So yeah, HP does not know what they're doing.
Especially comparing with other touchpads where you don't have to buy a computer as well.
Yeah, yeah. An iPad
That would be a big decision maker for me.
An iPad right now, if you had to buy the HP touchpad or the HP computer first before you got the tablet, it's just cheaper to buy an iPad.
So, sounds like it.
Okay.
They actually told me that they're sold out, so I don't know what they're thinking.
Yeah. All right. So Facebook, we have some Facebook news. They are putting up a new server farm to make things faster. It's going in Sweden. town, Luia, something like that.
Very cold there.
It is very cold.
Or the Arctic Circle right next door.
Yeah, you have a story. We have like a million tabs. We are not going to get to all the news today because there's a crap ton of news. Yeah, the picture though on this server farm looks pretty cool. It's just surrounded by snow. Looks very, very frigid there. Should keep their servers cool and fast.
Yep.
That's the plan. That's why they decided to put there for the outdoor. That cool air will help keep the servers cold.
Why did you tell the good people how big it is? Like how many acres they actually
How
wanted
many is
off,
it?
right?
I don't remember how
I
many
think
is
it's
it.
about 3 acres just for this.
It's a big building.
And powered mostly by hydroelectric power for people.
Wait. Go back up. It says the near huge dam on the river that generates twice as much power as the Hoover Dam. Is that what it's?
Yeah, the Hoover Dam.
Holy cow, that's a lot of power.
Wow.
Facebook
14 backup generators. This is huge.
Should help speed things up. Might help people hack accounts quicker, I guess, because Facebook came out. They said they were kind of bragging about this, that only 0.06% of daily logins on Facebook are made through hijacked accounts.
And guess how many that is?
If you do the numbers, that's 600,000 accounts a day.
They have about 1 billion users log in every day. So 0.06% is not that small.
Yeah, I mean, if you think about that, 600,000 Facebook logins are hijacked every single day.
A day. I didn't
day.
realize that.
A
I
day.
thought that was a big deal just once.
Every day. And I don't know what they mean by hijacked. Like, if that's actually people logging in remotely through other people's accounts, or if it's just, hey, I got your password, I'm going in.
I don't see how they still have this many people still making, this many new accounts all the time. It seems like it's to the point where everyone has one.
Well,
Everyone in the world has Facebook.
That's the weird thing nowadays, that it's weird if you see someone that doesn't have Facebook.
Yeah.
It's like,
if someone mentions, oh, I'm not on Facebook. Wait, what?
Really? Add me on Facebook. I don't have Facebook. You don't have Facebook?
Yeah.
If you have Facebook, it's like impossible to get rid of it also.
Yeah, that's true.
You can only deactivate, you can't actually get rid of it.
I remember reading some of the hardest accounts that could, it's called the blacklist, and programs that are just almost impossible to get an account rid of from it. Skype was the number one. It's blacklisted because you actually have to call the company to actually get your account completely removed.
That's amazing.
Which is crazy. I didn't think Skype would be on. I thought it'd be Facebook up there, but Skype is number one. I use Skype all the time.
Then again, people don't really leave Skype as often as you think.
I stay on Skype all the time. I just leave it on my computer. Okay, Nokia. They've got another new phone out that can't be destroyed. Nokia is kind of known as the phone company who creates phones that you could throw across the room.
Oh, jeez.
Drop a bomb on. They still
You
survive.
just saw that picture.
It's kind of like
I
the
just saw
original
that
Game
picture.
Boy.
Yeah.
Well, I thought Casio was more of the...
Casio's one of them.
Yeah, that is one of them. But if you look at this phone, you will agree with what I said.
We'll post the link in the show notes, but this phone actually flexes, the screen included.
Bendable phone.
So you could do things without looking at it, without even touching it. You could just, touching the screen, I mean.
What kind of screen is that? Is it
It's an OLED, apparently.
OLED.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are. I wonder how much that'll be if you got without a contract.
Apparently they have carbon fibers in it. That's why they can actually do all this with it, bend it. It even takes in commands when you bend it. So if you bend it a certain way, you can activate the camera. And stuff
That's
like that.
cool. That's a whole new form of input, user input.
Yeah, that's what
I
they
could
were
see
saying.
making some games out of that too.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh yeah.
cool. I still want to see. I still want to see them test this versus an original Game Boy. See which one lasts longer.
Yeah. Remember that Game Boy that survived? What was it?
There was a bomb attack.
Yeah.
Something like that. I saw a picture. They pulled it out.
Yeah.
And it still worked.
And it still worked.
Oh yeah.
That thing was like a brick.
Made to last a nuclear holocaust.
Yep.
Just like a cockroach.
Yep.
I don't know if you could cut the Game Boy in half and still have it work.
It still works. It's like a Hydra. It just grows another head. It doesn't work. Yeah. 2 screens.
It splits.
That's how the DS was made.
Okay, so this is from Gizmodo. There's a new keyboard.
Ooh, yes. It looks like some kind of military op thing or
It
something.
is pretty cool.
What's the name of that company? AZIO. How do you even pronounce that?
I have no idea.
The keyboard's name is the Levitron Mech 4.
Oh my gosh.
It's actually designed around your clumsiness. It's anticipating that you're going to be spilling coffee all over it. And it's got spillways designed into it.
Don't be surprised if it transforms into something.
It looks pretty cool, yeah.
It does kind of look like a transformer.
Yeah.
But you know those really old analog keyboards that you could throw in the dishwasher and actually clean when you spilled something on
This
them?
is the future of
Hey,
that.
this is the advanced version of that. This is designed when you spill coffee, it's all just going to drain out to the bottom onto your pants.
Looks
It's like those George Foreman grills.
Yep.
You can burn it up and grill something on it.
There you go.
If you're accident prone, you could look into this keyboard because it should survive.
Or if you have a teenager that plays WoW and you don't, and he's not a very happy teenager, then. Oh, haven't you guys seen that video where the teenager's playing WoW and he's like, WoW, I mean World of Warcraft,
Yes.
and he's like, oh my god, I lost something, and he started breaking his keyboard on his computer screen.
I don't know if this would survive that or not.
Survivability test.
Here's
Yes.
a bunch of videos that they are not real.
We have some Sony news. Sony finally bought Ericsson. They were two separate companies, in case you didn't know that. So now, Sony Ericsson. It's possible that they could integrate, communication technologies into, say, a PlayStation.
Yeah. They actually they paid quite a bit of money. Apparently, they had a partnership with Sony Ericsson. With Ericsson before, where they had phones, but apparently they wanted to just buy these guys over for entertainment and communication integration, I guess.
Yeah, that's all they bought Ericsson for, and I think it's good. I think because what was that Sony, that phone that could play video games?
The Xperia.
That was not
very good.
Not good. Hopefully we could see something like this. I don't know, the PlayStation Vita is probably pretty far along in development by now for anything to get...
No, I heard they
pretty
had
bad.
some kind of feature which would allow the PS Vita.
And when is it coming out?
No idea. Eric might know.
February sometime, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll have a whole entire show dedicated to that. I'm really excited about that.
Yes.
But Sony buys Ericsson, so we'll see if anything gets integrated in there. We talked about this last time on the show. This kind of brings up the smartphones versus gaming handhelds. With Sony buying Ericsson, it's kind of looking like more communication technologies are going to be put into gaming consoles. Right now, it's kind of like the smartphone versus the gaming console, because the smartphone can do everything, plus you've got games on it. But I think the hardcore gamer is always going to be...
Though they may go towards this if Sony actually makes some kind of replacement
exactly
for
what
a
I'm
phone. Yeah, this may be a breakthrough in the entire field. So a lot more, you may be seeing a lot of these coming through if Sony does something good with this.
We'll see how it turns out. It'll be interesting to watch.
Right now, it's really not much of a comparison. I mean, they're really kind of just two different things. Cause, I mean, whenever you get a game for a smartphone, it's just a little mini game,
Crap.
Yeah, exactly. Just something to keep you busy.
Yeah.
But
We have time. In a couple of years, they're saying even the processing power on computers will be squared, not just multiplied by 10 or something. They will be squared. Now that is a
all
disturbing.
right,
It's like
right on.
the difference between the Angry Birds and some higher end game for the PSP. It's quite a big difference, I'd say.
You play Angry Birds?
Yeah.
A little bit. It's addicting. I'll give it that.
I play a little bit. It's fun, but not too much.
Yeah, I kind of lost interest in that. No offense.
We have Google News as well. Google, I thought we had other Sony news, but...
Always Google. Oh, there is Sony news. Something about the bio.
Okay, well,
I can get
I
back
can
to
find
it.
it. Google Maps, now going inside businesses as well. So traditionally you had go on Google Maps and you could go zoom all the way down to a street view once you got the final address. You could go in and see the outside of the building or the exact address, look for parking, cool stuff like that. Well, now it's actually going inside businesses. So say you're looking to find, I don't know, a guitar shop, like
What they have up
PC
here.
World's example. This comes from PCWorld.com. And Google Maps actually goes inside with their
And
little
shows their
cameras,
collections.
takes pictures of the inside of the store. So when you look up that address or go search for that store, you can actually go from the typical street view all the way down to street camera view. You can actually see the streets. You can actually go inside the businesses now.
You could look at the shop owner and you could make sure that he doesn't look like some kind of pedophile.
You can check out any shady locations you might be going to ahead of time.
Yeah, just making sure.
The only thing is, you can't actually go from Street View and walk like into the building. You have to actually know the building's name or the business.
That's understandable.
But it'd be really cool if you just like, I'm in Street View. Hey, I want to go inside that building. Click on it and you're inside.
Though you could find a shop online and you could just go and Google Map that.
It's
and
basically
it'll show you what you want.
True.
You can once you're in the store, you can go around.
Right.
Area.
Okay.
What's nice is in this picture, it's showing a guitar shop. So, I mean, this is a great example of, let's see what they have in stock. Let's see if they have the kind of thing I'm looking for. And you can just look to see what they have without even going in. Which, I don't know, I feel like some businesses may not like.
Yeah.
The fact that you may not even go to the store. I mean,
But it's the other way around. You can go to the store because
Yeah, it's a double-edged sword.
Yeah.
You may figure out if they have what you want or not. So.
Right.
Or you could also figure out if they, but their inventories could change. So. That may not be completely accurate unless we know how many times Google updates it.
For a place like Walmart, I wonder if they'll do this because Walmart's always changing like the layout of their store.
I think it'd be a good thing for small businesses.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, it should help a lot.
Yeah, get their name out there. And
Just another form of advertisement.
Sure.
Google is now testing out Google Wallet. Someone go to that story.
Okay,
Because
they give you $10.
yeah, $10 to try, but it's not. It's only in certain cities right now.
Oh yeah, not here.
Of course.
New York, Chicago, Washington, San Francisco, and Los Angeles.
So, what is Google Wallet? No.
Basically, you use your phone as your wallet, so you don't actually have to carry your phone and a wallet. You just have your phone.
Oh, yeah.
It's a wallet.
Oh, yeah, I've heard of this with the Samsung Galaxy S2 with Sprint. See, the Samsung Galaxy S2 has a Sprint connection now, and or is available on Sprint within the contract. And I think that's what they were talking a lot about earlier too. That it's got a whole bunch of new Google features that Samsung was looking into in the past, and now that they're finally getting into it with Google. So it seems quite interesting that they were actually implementing these things because I thought they were just going to be there.
Well, once Google Wallet goes live, all over, it'll probably be available on all smartphones.
Yeah, it should.
Most smartphones are.
Maybe not Apple.
How is this any different from a credit card? I mean,
It's
is it basically the same?
You don't have to carry a card.
I
guess,
think
yeah.
it's pretty much the same thing though.
Right.
How you pay.
You can just keep all of your cards on your phone,
Yeah.
basically.
It could be like a barcode thing on your phone
Right.
that gets scanned by the device they have.
Now, can scanners scan your smartphone?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
That's already been.
Okay. Yeah. Well, it seems like, I don't know, I'd feel uncomfortable just frying it.
Yeah, well,
Ooh, my phone.
If they say it works, I'll trust them, but...
it seems like
If it burns.
it seems like people could be spending a lot of money a lot faster, a lot easier
Oh,
when they just have to
no.
carry around their phone.
I have to stay away from this. Oh my
It's
god.
usually in their hand already anyway, so...
Yeah.
I thought originally, like, instead of like the scanner scanning your phone, I thought it was more of like a proximity card. Like you could just get your phone near the.
Oh, okay.
Like a barcode scanner, not a barcode scanner. I forgot what it's called. Like we have for our math cards.
Yeah,
Something
but I
like
don't know how that would work without
Verification.
hardware being installed.
Here's the
You'd
thing.
have to. You'd also have to have some kind of a security thing, wouldn't you? Because if you would just randomly walk by something, beep. Oh, I just got charged.
Yeah.
Oh no.
I think it's getting to the point, though, where you lose your phone, you lose
Everything.
everything.
Yeah.
I mean, it's another problem I can see running into with this is, I mean, there's always going to be just technology malfunctions. Just you go to pay for your stuff and their card reader
Battery's
isn't
dead.
working.
Yeah.
So
Battery's
then
dead.
it's like, well, crap, I didn't carry any cash or any, actual cards with me. So
yeah, that's the big problem. When you just have your phone, you don't have any actual cash on you.
Though
That can be a problem.
recently for the lost phones, they have a lot of applications which actually you can find your phone on a computer or something, so you could actually even alert the authorities that somebody is using your card. And through your phone, or somebody is using your phone for something bad, and they have cops actually go in and check out these things, because there are a lot of security threats in terms of terrorism in the past with this kind of stuff too.
Yeah. It's just kind of proven it's always smart to still keep cash on you.
Yes.
Google says it's very easy. I'm actually on google.com/wallet, and there's 2 steps. One is to look for the symbol that says Google or MasterCard, whatever. And then 2, you tap your phone on the reader, and that's it.
Wow.
Yeah, it seems. Google makes it very easy to do this. So.
Oh, and something else from Google that I just noticed. I've actually seen this before, but I'm not sure if I've heard the name. Yeah, the ripples.
I think Drake knows about
Ripples are pretty cool. When you, I guess for Google Plus users, which around here are few and far between, but
losing more fast.
actually, I read something recently that it's up like 6% this month.
Okay.
So I haven't seen that.
Surprisingly, I was actually told to look at this page during my English comp class, and the professor said that you could actually look this up to find related topics to your main topic.
Well, the thing is, Ripples, if you follow public figures on Google Plus, it shows you how a post spreads throughout basically Google Plus, and it shows you how popular someone is. So if someone really popular shares it, it'll show their name big with a big bubble, and then it'll show how it spreads to other people, smaller people, less popular people, I guess.
Smaller people.
Oh my god.
Less
People of
popular
lesser
people.
importance.
Yeah. And it's kind of just like it's a graph basically of how one post will spread throughout Google Plus.
So I wonder what people will say about this. Like, you're being judged according to your popularity on that. Really, I was like, some people may not like it.
Well, it's for more of the public, more famous people.
Yeah,
so.
then
Well,
you
my name's bigger than your name on Google Plus.
Brian Kelly? Wait, isn't that a coach? You cheater.
It only works on public posts, so if you don't want to be known, then you can be private, I guess.
Yeah, that is the nice thing I like about Google Plus is it's a lot more customizable than Facebook, I think, with the privacy settings.
Because in Facebook, people can know where you are, what you're doing, just by being your friend.
And you can choose that to happen on Google Plus.
Hold on. Isn't there also something that Facebook is starting now, which is called your best friend system or something?
Yeah.
Which allows you, which gives you
Close
more
friends, yeah.
Yeah, it gives you more privacy.
Yeah, Facebook is basically taking the ideas that Google Plus has had and integrating them in, so then people can be like, I'm going to Google Plus because Facebook doesn't have this. So now Facebook has everything all put together, so you can't complain about
Might as well
that.
stick around in Facebook.
I personally like Google Plus, and Eric likes Google Plus, but we just don't have any.
I personally don't go to anything else. So I'm barely on Facebook, to tell you the truth. So I'm kind of just in person, talk to the person.
It's to the point now where there's so many social networks. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Your information is on the internet everywhere at this point.
It's actually,
and now it's going onto your phone.
Now some of your professors will tell you as well, like if you future your job prospects, people may look at your Facebook page, which has been clarified. Companies do that a lot now. They look at your Facebook page to make sure that you've not been doing something crazy, or to check if you've been responsible or irresponsible in the past.
It's kind of funny. There's actual services that you can pay to have to go through your Facebook page and try and find bad things about you so that you can get rid of those things when you're going in for future employment.
Oh my gosh, really? That's a lucrative business.
Yeah, it is. All right, so from Google to Apple, a lot of people, I think it's a common misconception that Macintosh computers can't get viruses. That's completely false, and now a Trojan horse named Tsunami is going through the Macs.
So all you Apple fanboys, just be careful. I know you think you're secure, but
yes,
there are things out there.
I don't know. I've only used a Mac for about a year, and we didn't have. I don't know what we had on it for security. I can't can't remember. And none of us here are Mac users, so
Yeah.
basically, if you've got a
No,
Mac, just be aware of any new
it's-
software you put on. So.
From what I know about from somebody who actually has a MacBook Pro, they say that it's more secure. First of all, because not many people want to try and hack them because they only have certain percent market share. Though the fact is that it's also secure because of the restricted software that they have very clean code. So usually, it's usually very difficult to have it virus, like have a virus come and attack it because the code is clean enough that it doesn't allow anything else to attach itself. So,
I think it's completely true that Macs are less likely to get viruses and stuff like that than PCs.
but the Trojan horses are a different matter. You should know that because they are not viruses. They're just programs. You download them as programs and you're gone.
Yep. Yeah. Well, Windows 7 has about 10 billion lines of code.
Oh,
and,
yes.
You know, OS X has
And
much less.
Windows 8.
Right. Windows 8. Yeah, we're not going to talk about that yet.
We'll have a whole show dedicated to that as well.
Yes.
But anyways, like OS X, you don't really need an anti-software or anti-spyware, malware, all that because it's
much more secure.
Yeah, much more secure.
The code
Just basically, you have to be sure, as with any program, what you're actually downloading, what you're
like Eric wasn't too sure last time he was downloading some plugin for Chrome.
Yeah, I plug in for Chrome. I switched to Firefox because I don't know what Chrome's problem is.
It made him download a Trojan horse apparently.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think I was like...
That's jumping to conclusions.
Yeah, it's true. It's jumping to conclusions, but you could never be too
Yeah, I
careful.
could have. I might scan my computer after that one. What are we? Yeah, Apple News.
Yes.
Okay.
Let's go to that.
4S.
You know anything about the battery problems?
Yeah, well, a little bit. I mean, I guess a lot of people are complaining about the 4S battery problems, and it's I guess not quite as big as the antenna scandal in the iPhone 4,
yeah.
but people are still confused as to why their battery is running out so quick in their iPhones. They're saying it's not making it through an entire day.
Some people were saying it might be because the iOS 5 may be using like too many backward programs. I can't really explain.
Background programs.
But the thing is, like, people aren't complaining about their iOS 5 on their iPads or their iPods.
No, it's because also about the processor chip that they knew they put
the same chip is in the iPad too. But I think I mean, some people have had success by draining it completely 2 or 3 times, and then it decides that it wants to have better battery life.
So, sir, you're saying that it could be the actual battery?
I have no idea what it is. Apple doesn't know what it is. Well, they probably do. They're just not telling anyone.
They don't want to tell anybody.
It sounds like it could be like a battery meter problem, like one of those, like, yeah.
I mean, I recently updated my iPod Touch with the iOS 5, and to me it seems like the battery's been going a little quicker, but that could also be I've been using it a lot lately.
Really
checking out all the new stuff.
It's kind of weird because for me it's the other way around. It feels like the battery's staying longer since I've updated it. Maybe just because I plugged it in so long to update that the battery may just have to overcharge.
What really drains the battery on an iPod Touch is AirPlay. If you stream music through AirPlay over external speakers, battery's gone in like 6 hours.
But that's what surprises me because I was watching like all these trailers on the IMDb app, and surprisingly, it did not drain my battery at all. Like it just lost a little bit, even though I was listening to on the external speakers.
Wow.
So maybe mine is just.
But you weren't going through AirPlay though.
No.
Wirelessly.
No.
I'm talking about wirelessly streaming music. It kills the battery.
Well,
anyway.
Apple usually prides itself in its battery life as compared to other devices, so that's kind of a big deal for them. So
I'm sure it'll be fixed.
They'll come out with something to fix it, or else make people think that they're fixing it. There's going to be something. They just don't want to act too quickly.
So I know they fixed the original iPhone 4 bumper problem. You just told everybody to put a little bumper around it.
If it's a hardware problem, it's a little bit bigger of a deal than a software problem because you just update the software. But
and talking about Apple and how they deal with problems,
this is crazy.
Yeah. This one is just quite amazing. They got the patent for the unlock. Just on your touchscreen.
They bought the patent.
Patent. Sorry. Oh my god.
Really?
Yeah, so that little slide to the right on all of the smartphones, the little touch
It's
to
going
unlock
away.
the screen. I don't know. I'm assuming on the next software update that'll be gone, except for on Apple devices, because Apple now owns that. When you
Yes.
slide to the right to unlock your phone, that's owned by Apple.
They dealt with some competition there, I guess.
They've still got like the patent. When you actually look at the patent, and they've got a picture describing it, it's very detailed. It's just the little slide to the left. So I don't know, like on Android smartphones, if the little pattern unlock.
The grid thing.
Yeah.
The grid pattern unlock to unlock it. I don't know if that's still valid.
Though the last time I heard, wasn't it also being increased the size of the pattern, because they had about 3x3, but they also had they were putting up a 4x4, which was a 16 grid.
Yeah.
Which would make it more advanced.
See, what I don't like about that, though, is with a lot of people's phones, I can tell what their password is because I can see the little finger grease mark on their screen. It's like, oh, that's your password. I mean,
Well, it's not really, I guess, it's no different than if you get someone's iPhone, you just slide it to the right. It's not.
No, but it does have the passcode.
Yes, you can set that, but.
Like on the iPad 2, if you have a smart
Oh, yeah,
cover.
it's a smart pen.
Did we talk about that last week? I
Yes,
think we did.
we did.
Did you hear about that?
I have not.
The smart cover on the iPad 2, if you say that even if the iPad 2 is locked with a security code, you can close a smart cover on it.
Then no.
Hit
First
the
you
power
got,
button.
you gotta hit the power button
Yeah.
long enough so that the turn off shows up, and then you flip the cover on, and then you flip it off, and then you can go directly to the unlock
Yeah,
screen.
you hit the cancel and it goes directly to the home screen, bypassing all the security.
oh,
So-
jeez.
I think they're gonna get that fixed. They're gonna get the battery problems fixed. Apple's kind of getting a list here, but and in all of that, all those problems for Apple.
It only happened after Jobs died.
Well, that there's that, and now the Siri co-founder has reportedly quit Apple right after Siri was launched.
And what is Siri?
Siri's that new
Voice recognition
on
Oh, that
whereas-
amazing thing, yeah.
Well, it was really great on stage. The stage demo at the keynote was really good. It worked really good, but there's conflicting reports in real world use.
It's not too surprising because my professor actually got the phone, so I was asking him if I could try it out, and he was asking me questions in front of me, and he told me it was not answering at all. So he told me sometimes it can be iffy. So me and Eric just decided to call it that Siri can have her bad days.
Yeah, evidently.
I've used it a little bit, and it's pretty cool, I think. I mean, powered by the Wolfram Alpha engine, you can you say, well, I want you to do my math homework for me. And when I've used it, it's worked just fine, but I mean, I guess there
are bugs, I would assume.
There's always bugs, I mean, with any software, especially something that's voice recognition, it's not always going to be able to tell what you're talking about.
A lot of people expected perfection from Apple, but you can't expect everybody to be perfect.
Well,
they always do expect perfection from Apple.
Yes.
And the last bit of Apple news we have here, evidently they're reportedly killing off the MacBook Pro.
Which is kind of sad.
The Mac Pro.
The Mac Pro. That's okay. My mistake. Yeah, that's a big. This is the actual desktop, not MacBook. The Mac Pro. That really big silver monster
The
machine.
only Apple computer that has a box.
Yeah.
Basically. Yeah. And those are the very, very high-end form of desktop.
How much are those?
Oh, they're like $2,500 at the cheapest.
I think Ben recently got one too. It was pretty amazing how small the actual box was sometimes.
You're talking?
No, I'm
Wait,
talking.
mini?
Yeah, mini. I'm talking.
Oh, I'm not getting rid of the mini.
No, this is just
the Pros.
Mac Pro.
Oh yeah,
It's just the Mac Pro, the
These
big
things are
desktop.
massive.
Yeah, and I guess okay, yeah. The most recent one has 12 cores of processing power, and the quad core starts at 2,500, 8 core, 3,500, and 12 core at 5,000. So it's no surprise that they're not selling very many.
Is that why they're getting rid of it?
Yeah, I think they're just not selling as many as they'd like to. They really. Yeah,
They're probably making a lot more money off the handhelds like the iPad, iPod,
And the MacBooks.
iPhone. Yeah.
Well, I mean, aren't there PCs with those specs you can buy from a
which
lot
are.
less?
No, I believe you can build your own PC, which would be like 1/10 the cost at this point in time.
That little Apple logo costs a lot to paint on.
One time, I tried to build the most expensive Mac computer, and it was a Mac Pro. It was
On their website?
$20,000.
Oh my god. The most expensive computer I've ever tried to build is Origin, and they basically told me 9,000 at most. And that was like when I maxed out 6 solid-state drives, which each were like 300 gigs. Yeah. And I was like surprised that it was 9,000, and now hearing 20,000.
20,000 for a computer.
20,000.
They're making a solid-state terabyte.
Yeah, they already have it. It's $4,300 bucks
for a terabyte solid
yes.
state.
Yeah. I don't know why you'd ever need that, but
That's crazy.
that's the future, though.
Solid states will eventually come down.
Yeah, especially considering Taiwan is flooded.
Yeah.
Or was it Thailand?
Thailand.
Thailand was flooded.
That's where all the hard drive motors for the regular hard drives come out of, and they're underwater right now.
Ooh.
So, okay, let's go into video games.
Ooh, what about this? Are you even going to talk about this one here?
No.
Oh, that's okay.
Okay, well, we can just glance at it. There's an unknown. Okay, the Games Media Awards 2011 was Wednesday, October 26th. That's in London, and it was hosted by Granger Games. Do any of you know who Granger Games are?
No idea.
It's basically,
I read this article, though. It's hilarious.
It's a retail chain, pretty much like GameStop. They sell games. No one knows about them, though.
Yeah.
They do now. Everybody knows about it. This conference that they hosted could not have been worse.
Yes.
It was just horribly put together. The sponsors from Granger Games were making jokes, cracking jokes at the presenters sitting right in front of the stage.
Getting wasted while doing so. And actually, it's pretty funny. That when they got there, the people, the gaming aficionados, I should say, they got there and they're greeted by 2 scantily dressed women and 2 scantily dressed dwarves.
Oh my god!
From this company. And then also when they sat down, there was condoms on the tables. So
Scantily dressed women and dwarves.
Yeah,
so whichever way you swing.
Yeah,
it's
I don't know how. They got attention, that's for sure. I don't know if it was good attention. No, it definitely wasn't.
Definitely not good attention.
That was not.
They got their name out there.
Not the best year for the Games Media Awards.
That's bizarre.
I think we could go a bit more into that story, but
condoms all over the table.
Along with video game news, the Vita browser, it's been announced that it will support HTML5 on launch.
But
the
no Flash.
Sony Vita, but it won't support Flash.
That's a little bit disappointing considering.
Why do they make things now that don't support Flash?
That's a good question.
That's
everything uses it.
How hard is that to
bad
integrate?
decision.
I don't know. How hard is that to put in?
I don't know.
I would assume it's
Apple
just.
doesn't do that.
Yeah. Oh no. I would assume it's just because of the processing power it might take. Because the Flash things load up automatically, so you wouldn't want any sudden background operations taking place.
Steve Jobs' life didn't flash before his eyes. Apple doesn't support it.
The Vita will also require
internal memory card.
External cards.
What?
External storage cards.
Oh, okay.
It also supports them, right?
Yeah, but they're going to be in a different format. So all your little cards now that you have for your PSP that all your game saves are stored on won't work on the Vita.
That's unfortunate.
So
that's disappointing.
I read somewhere that 60% of PSP users are planning on switching to the Vita when it comes out.
It's quite possible because the same thing happened between the PSP 1000, the PSP 2000, and the PSP 3000.
Pretty much the same thing.
Yeah, they all just switched over to the newer model whenever it came out because the PSP 2000 could be connected to TVs, so people wanted to be able to do that at the time.
The Vita looks very, very good.
It does, though. That's true.
It's got a bunch of new features, including a rear touch panel, which is just crazy. It's a whole new. It's like that phone that bends. People could start using that as user input. The touchpad on the back is a whole new way to play video games. So
True.
I think a lot of people are kind of looking for a new experience, way to play their games, and I think that's why a lot of people are going to try this out.
It definitely plays a lot more than Angry Birds.
Yes, it does. Yep. That's what
doesn't have the same like ability or the same graphics as a PS3.
Yeah, it's very close, if not better than a PS3.
That's
people who have demoed the unit have compared it.
Wait, PS3?
Yeah.
Yes, PS3.
Yep.
That's the entire big breakthrough.
It's an OLED screen on that, isn't
yes, it is.
So
it's how big?
5 inches maybe? I don't know.
5 point something. I think.
Yeah.
Width.
What's OLED?
Organic light emitting diodes.
It's it's beyond LED. The reason they switch from LCD to LED is the same reason they're switching from LED to OLED.
Okay.
How much more expensive is that? Will you be seeing it in television screens? Is what I'm asking.
Yeah.
I think you already have. They already do.
There's
television screens.
Also AM OLED screens.
Yes.
I think those are just showing up.
And they're just about 5% more power saving, something like that.
There was some sort of brand new screen technology debuted at last year's Consumer Electronics Show, and it was going, I think, for $1,000 per square inch or per square foot of screen space.
Now, what makes this OLED better?
It's another certain percentage of power saving.
Well, I know the difference between the LED and the LCD was blacker blacks. And
a lot of
deeper colors and stuff like
that.
On
a lot of these newer things,
brighter colors as well and stuff.
Well, on a lot of these newer screens, to get the pitch black darkness, like during dark shots, the actual dark part of the screen is now shut off to get that true black.
That was the same thing with plasmas. Apparently, had the best dark because they could shut off entire panels, and that would cause it to become totally black. Though the LCDs couldn't replicate the same thing, but the LEDs apparently they had a more distributed light system because the LCDs just had about 2 or 3 big lights behind, which would cause the flashing or in general. But the LEDs had a whole array of small little bulbs which would flash on and off according to what you wanted.
Well, that being said, there's not a huge difference between the LCD screens and LED screens. Not the $1,000 differences or whatever.
That's true. That's why the sales weren't as huge as people wanted, as companies expected. But there were still a lot of sales because people were like, new technology, power saving. The sales department did a good job in selling them. So it's not like they didn't make money.
And to wrap up video games, Nintendo ends their quarter with a 70 billion yen loss.
Okay, so yen,
is
1 yen is about 1 cent?
No, 10,000 yen is $1.
So yeah.
10,000 yen?
No, I thought yen was 1 cent.
100 yen is 1 cent.
You would know it, Jay. I would not know.
So
convert that.
Yeah, convert that.
I'll Google it.
70 billion would be...
While you guys are converting that, internally Nintendo predicted a loss of 35 billion. So this was a very bad news.
It's double the loss they expect.
Yeah. This equals $922.39 million US dollars.
See,
that is a lot of US dollars.
That is a lot.
I think it's mainly due to the 3DS not selling the way they wanted it to.
No.
Hopefully this Christmas season it'll pick up a little bit. They're launching a lot of new 3DS titles after the turn of the year, right at the beginning of 2012.
I think I saw the advertisement today as well. They had a whole bunch of 3DS titles coming out. They have a 3D Zelda, which is coming out. So, and they also have the new Mario Kart 7, and they have
Star Fox.
Yeah. Yeah, true. Then they also have what is that? What is the last Mario game? The new Mario game?
I don't know.
I feel like Nintendo's kind of starting to die out. It seems like so much of their stuff now is getting kind of gimmicky.
Yeah,
repetition kind of.
Well, yeah, and that new Wii U console.
Well, we'll see how that is. Yeah, it looks interesting.
It does, but I'm looking forward to something more of a PS4 maybe, or of an Xbox 720 maybe. These are unknown values.
All these.
How much is the Wii U going to be?
I think it was 200, wasn't it?
Yeah.
200?
Yeah, that's supposed to be the lowest price.
And that was that kind of handheld thing that you hold.
That's the controller and the screen. You also have the console.
Oh yeah, that's a different console. Yeah. That's not just with the current Wii's.
Yeah.
No.
When is the Wii U coming out then?
I don't know.
It's all they're saying the actual introduction and the actual announcements will be made in 2012, and the new consoles may come out anywhere between 2013 and 2015.
Okay.
All three consoles are
So they
expected
don't
to
know.
come out between 2 years.
Okay. Well, I know that. Well, I think Nintendo's just trying to catch the lower end of the market. They know that.
They know people will just buy this for casual.
Right. I mean, like families, little kids. I mean, that's just
Yeah.
basically who they're
Yeah.
marketing to right now.
And if you look around at little kids, they've all got Nintendo products.
Right.
Yeah.
That's true. When we were little kids, we had Nintendo products.
That's true. I mean, we just grew out of it.
I still do.
Yeah.
I feel like
Eric,
I don't think
grown up.
Nintendo's dying. I think they've faded out right now, but I think
They will come back probably. They're one of the.
I think the 3DS is going to sell a bit more during Christmas, and then after the end of the year when new games come out, it'll pick up again.
They need new titles. Like Sony always has something or the other new coming out. That's why Microsoft was so successful with the Xbox, because they had the Halo series come out and then a whole bunch of online games versions, and they made it so popularized that everybody plays Xbox Live now. Not everybody.
I think what they need to do is just, I mean, I think they need to appeal more to the hardcore gamers now, because I feel like that's the market that they're losing. I mean, they've been selling so many products they've been selling so many Wii Fits to housewives that, I mean, it's time to get back to the roots. I
Couldn't
mean,
agree more.
Yeah, because in the past when they started off, they were going for the hardcore gamers because they were one of the few companies around.
Mhm.
But now it looks like they're just trying to pick off whatever they possibly can.
Yeah.
It's a bit disappointing because you'd expect something
They
bigger.
cater a lot to the younger generation. I think they need to integrate social networking and stuff like that a bit more into their consoles, like Sony and Microsoft have.
They don't quite have the same online player thing as
It's horrible.
Yeah,
Sony
definitely
or
not.
Microsoft.
It's free, which is nice. The few games that do have some decent multiplayer
Yeah.
for Wii, it's all free. You don't need an account or anything like that, which is
But-
nice.
And then,
But yeah, I mean, you don't get improved stats and achievements and things like
Yeah.
that. And
achievements is a big one.
Yeah, and it just a lot of times there's not that much of a community for it. There's no one to play with. I mean,
They did make a little improvement with the 3DS, and they got rid of all the individual friend codes for each individual game, and now it's only one code for your entire system. So every time you want to play a game with someone, you have to give them that friend code. Originally, you had to give them that friend code for that
which
game.
was just a hassle.
Now you only, and I think the 3DS stores them, so once you play once with somebody, you automatically.
That's
so
good.
it's getting a little better, but it's still going to take quite a
It's
time.
I would still believe that they could do a lot better even in the regular console stage, because the Wii has been good, but the Wii, and it's been very affordable. But the rest of the consoles are dropping prices as well now, so people can get the PS3s for what, $250, $200 bucks, $250. Yeah.
What are 360s going for? now?
200 minimum price.
Not 150 for the 4 gig.
The Xbox now? Really?
Yeah, if you want to get a 4 gig.
I've got one now.
I don't know the price on those. Check that
That's-
out.
I'll look at it.
That's that's like, because the other consoles are now already popularized and they're dropping prices, so they're making a lot of money since they're probably going towards the next thing.
Well, and during the beginning of school years, Microsoft does promotions where you buy buy a laptop, from Best Buy.
Hold on,
get a
you forgot the
4 gig
E3
Xbox.
thing. They gave away free Xbox 360s on E3.
So they did.
They were giving out free Xbox 360s with computers
Oh,
earlier
yeah.
this
Oh,
year.
I just missed that. When I bought my laptop while that was going on, and I didn't hear about that deal until literally the day after. I got mine from Nebraska Furniture Mart, not from Best Buy where they were doing
You had to
this.
get it at Best Buy.
Jeez,
It was
whatever.
the 4 gig model.
It's all right. You have
Right, I think
three.
it's 100.
Whatever.
No, it's all right. You have three Xboxes.
That's what roommates are for.
Alright, we gotta start winding it up here. Let's get into at least
DeLorean.
one time killer, because this is awesome. Forza Motorsport 4 is a new video game that's out. They're running commercials for it now. They had a contest, the DeLorean Motor Company. They've always got parts on stock for these original DeLoreans. If you want to have one built for you, you can call them up, have it built. Well, now they've announced that the DeLorean is going to make a comeback in 2013. Actually going to be sold on car lots, and the new design was designed in Forza Motorsport 4.
And the truth is that Forza Motorsport 4 is so good. It's actually like a real simulator for driving. So I believe that if they have it there, something like that would actually be easy to bring into whatever, like real world.
Yeah, they basically had a contest, who could design the best looking DeLorean in Forza Motorsport 4. We'll put up the link, there's a whole bunch of contests, they put up pictures of all the entries, and this silver, really cool looking one won. We'll have that one as the image for the podcast. It is really cool.
You gonna buy it?
I asked him that last time. He dodged the question.
Nope. I won't have one, but if I see one, I will definitely be taking a picture.
There may be so many that you don't need to take a picture.
Yeah, that's true.
You have to go through this last story. I think it's hilarious.
Take it. Take it away.
Alright, so Gizmodo reports in, I guess, a humor section, I would say. Man calls the police complaining about a flashing light in the sky. He's thinking alien. He calls back later and says, never mind, it was only the moon.
This guy had to have been tripping on something.
Oh, he was high.
I don't want to say that people are that stupid. I hope this was drug induced.
Yeah.
if the cops would have come over, he would have known.
Yeah.
That's
is that all there is to that story?
That's basically it.
That's sad.
It's just. I think it's funny. That
All he thought was the moon was getting closer because he was just so high.
I find it funny that made it to Gizmodo.
Yeah, well,
their reporting's kind of iffy sometimes.
Definitely check out The Verge. Awesome. Sorry.
What was that?
The Verge. Okay, The Verge came out today. Basically, the some writers of the last year left Engadget. I'd say some of the best writers from Engadget left. And they created their own website that hired some new people in, and they're doing. I mean, a lot of websites do just news. The Verge does editorials, reviews, and everything like that. So I think that they're really cool, and you guys should check them out. They do podcasts also.
That's TheVerge.com.
TheVerge.com.
All right. You can listen to their podcast as long as they're not at the same time we are.
That's true. That's true.
That's going to about do it for us this week. We're pushing 9 o'clock here. Contact us. Get a hold of us on YouTube. Leave comments. Subscribe to the channel. All our podcasts are recorded and put up on YouTube. You can go to our Facebook page and like us. The YouTube, I think, is youtube.com/T3 podcast. Goes right to our page. Facebook.com. I don't know what it is. Just search for
Tier 3, yeah.
Tier 3 or T3. Yeah. And you can email us, tier3podcast@gmail.com. That's how you get a hold of us.
Okay, good night,
guys.
guys.
Look for the posters, too.
Yeah, we will have those up, especially on Scout Campus.
I'll put them up everywhere.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
I've got so many of those printed out.
We have them everywhere.
So that's going to about do it for this week. Tune in next week, live here on Mav Radio at 8 o'clock. This has been the Tier 3 podcast on KBNO HD2 Omaha. We'll see you guys next Tuesday.